Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to The It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the biggest show in the world. This is Rob the Mad Hatter, and I'm pretty excited to have my man Weavy Weave on the line, Scott Weaver. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's good, man? What's going on in Connecticut, man?
Oh, Connecticut is a little bit up and down with the weather. We had some 90-degree heat for like 3 days, and it was awesome. And you know what the craziest part about it is? You know what? People are never happy. They want to complain that it's too hot. I'm like, stop. Relax, because you know what? We only get like 2 months of it, Scott.
Oh, man, that's every day down here in Atlanta, man. It's 95 down here. Everybody running around in string bikinis at the pool. It's great,
that's good.
man. But,
Good show, man.
but wait till July when it's 100. That's when the complaining really starts down here.
Exactly. Good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation, and we are live on all the social media outlets, including Twitter at SBTV Nation. And you can follow my man Weave808 on Twitter as well. So how you been, dude? How's the sports treating you?
Oh, man, it's been an up and down year. April was stellar. May was a total bomb, and June's looking pretty good, man. We're 13-7 the last 20, so not too bad. But I could just throw May out the window. Would be great, man.
May was a little tricky. A lot of big dogs came to form in baseball. I was noticing, and you know what? A lot of favorites just weren't doing their thing.
Yeah, I agree, man. Actually, April, I had more dogs hit in April than I did May, but a lot of those big favorites were coming through on some of those ones that I actually put in May. So it's kind of flipped a little bit here. In June, as we start approaching the All-Star break and the rosters expand pretty soon. So that's another thing you really got to look at is a lot of these pitchers are injured. I mean, look at the Mets team, man. That's just a freaking mess.
I know. Speaking of the Metropolitans, I'm going to see Mets Nats at 4 o'clock today.
Oh, yeah? You and Dr. Dizzle?
No, man. I'm going. My bride actually bought me for Father's Day. She bought me Mets tickets to go and enjoy the game. So we got a big tent. We're going to do a little tailgating. Yeah, I'm going to try to get up there like 12:30-ish. Get like 3 hours of tailgating in, I think.
Oh, that's what Strasburg's on the hill today. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. And the Metropolitans are probably an underdog. So I'll be taking a look at that. And I might take it. I mean, I know they're decimated and all that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they've lost 2 in a row now to the Nationals. We'll see if they can bounce back and make it work today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. So real quick, before I want to get into the baseball standings and just kind of pick your brain a little bit. But before we do that, the fight is set. You got Money Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight Conor McGregor. McGregor is plus 700. Big underdog in this fight, Scott.
I tell you, I looked at that line. It opened at Money Mayweather minus 1,100 and McGregor plus 900. And all the tickets are coming in on McGregor. That dropped it to 200 points, man, down from 900 to 700. So everybody's wanting that underdog money, but man, that's a tough one, man. I was talking to one of my friends about it the other day, and McGregor's probably one of the toughest people he's probably going to be in the ring with. But man, switching from just pure stand-up fighting to what they do, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be real tough. I totally agree with you on that. I mean, when you pull it up right now, I'm just going to look at one source here. As far as this fight is concerned, I'm trying to find like an updated line on it. I got Mayweather minus 750 now, and McGregor plus 525. Under over of 9.5 rounds.
Wow. Well, I almost think you take the over because Mayweather ain't going to knock nobody out. He's just going to stick and move and run the rounds up. My
Yeah.
thing is, if Conor can actually get a couple punches in, what does Mayweather do? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. Well, you know what? Hey, anybody that's out there trying to get this underdog money, I mean, plus 525, you're still there. You're still making
absolutely.
some decent money on that. So, we'll see where it all lands. But it is set for Saturday, August 26th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, happening in Las Vegas. T-Mobile.
How many pay-per-views you think is going to get hit on that?
Oh my God! They're probably going to charge $100.
One of all time.
Probably going to charge
yeah.
$100 on it.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see. I mean, you think it's going to be bigger than Mayweather Pacquiao?
Absolutely. Because you're drawing a whole nother fan base from the MMA.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. So you got both of them. So, yeah, we'll see where it all shakes out, man. But they did a good job putting that together. Nobody ever thought it would happen.
No,
So-
absolutely. I think the payday is what made it happen. I mean, you're talking $100 million for one fight. Man, that's
Oh,
crazy.
big time. Big time. So definitely a good reason to come out of retirement for Money Mayweather. To get that 50-0 as well, you know?
Oh, and not only that, man, he got more money to go to the Wynn casino with.
Right on, brother. Right on. All right, guys. So I'm going to take a look real quick. Obviously, we're right smack in the middle of MLB, and we could have a conversation about the New York Yankees slipping a little bit. They're one game up still, though, in the American League East over the Boston Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are still going to win that division, even though they've been up and down, Scott. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, man. I tell you, I watched that Philadelphia Red Sox game the other night that was 1-0, and Chris Sale against Pavetta, man, I didn't have any clue that was going to be a 1-0 game. But you just look at that Red Sox team and their pitching compared to, what the Yankees got. I just think the Yankees are overachieving right now. But this West Coast trip has really set them back a lot, man, losing those games to Oakland. We'll see what happens today. They got to win today, the Yankees.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
can't
They've
drop
lost
three
4 in a row now, and, the Red Sox are breathing down their neck. Then obviously you got the Rays, Orioles, and Blue Jays sitting there, more towards the bottom, where the Orioles really fell off, huh?
Oh my God, they are off a cliff. Their pitching is they can't get anybody out. And the ace of the staff, who everybody thought was going to have another great year, and Tillman, man, he can't even get out of the first inning.
No, definitely not. And looking at their road record, 11-23. You're not going to get it done winning 30% of your games on the road. It's not going to happen.
No, you got to be at least 45 to 50% if you're going to have a chance to contend in that division, especially.
Right on.
And with the Yankees' home record, what are they, 22-9, I think,
Oh yeah.
at home?
Yep. Big time.
That's tough.
Going down to
tough.
Central, man. The Minnesota Twins are still in first place.
You know what? I was doing my research on the Chicago Blue Jays game, and I saw that, and I was like, wow, they're still in first place. That's unbelievable.
They're still there. And obviously the Cleveland Indians are 2 games up over 500. I would expect them and maybe the Tigers to make a little run.
Yeah, I had picked the Tigers to win that division this year. They just are so Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, you look at the last 2 games against Tampa Bay. I mean, they win on a walk-off homer by Miggy on Thursday, and then they put up 13 on Friday. So you never know what you're going to get with that
You
team.
never know. It's inconsistency, baby. Then you got the
And
Houston
then with,
Astros in
then
the
with,
West.
Martinez with the irregular heartbeat, that's going to hurt him. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. Big time.
That's going to hurt.
It looks like it's all up in the air this year, man. With the exception, I mean, the Houston Astros are 11 games up over the Rangers.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just
that lineup is just potent from 1 to 9, man. It's tough to get it out in that lineup.
oh, big time. And you know what? I mean, looking at them, they're 23-8 on the road, which is very impressive. But in the last 10, they've only won 3 games.
Yeah, I know. And they got Paulino on the mound today, so that's another potential loss. So maybe they bounce back.
Right on, right on. And obviously, you got Rangers, Angels, Mariners, Athletics, Nearin, nowhere near him, I should say. 12 and a half out, 15 and a half out. I don't think anybody's catching the Astros, to be honest with you.
Especially not with Trout out. And that pretty much put them in the hole.
Big time. Big time. Then you go over to the National League East, and, this is another one where you got the Nationals kind of running away with the division here. Even though they're 4-6 in the last 10, they're 10 games up over the Marlins and 10.5 on the New York Metropolitans.
Yeah, they're winning that division by default. I mean, you got the injury situation with New York. Freddie Freeman, who was on a tear to be the league MVP, he goes out 6 weeks. So they really don't have any competition right now.
Nothing. Big shout out to my man Tiger Clinch for calling the Holly home winner yesterday.
Oh,
Good
That
stuff,
was a big
man. All right, so, dude, the Cubs are still a 500 team, Scott. I've been trying to make bets with the evil genius in the dream that the Cubs will not make the playoffs this year.
You know what? I'm not sure you're not right. And here's the thing: if you look at that pitching digression from last year to this year,
Oh, yeah.
you're right. You're right on with it. I mean, Arrieta's a shell of himself. You knew Hamill was going to come back to earth after going, what is he, like 11-3 last year?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a career 500 pitcher. The thing I'm noticing about the Cubs is they aren't getting that 2-out hit, and when they have the bases loaded, they aren't scoring 5 and 6 runs like they did last year. There's been numerous times I watched them play this year. They had bases loaded, 1 out, bases loaded, no outs, and they come up with 1 or no runs. Last year, that was a 6-run inning.
Oh, last year they would have a 4 spot.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. The Brewers are in first place here, brother.
Man, what about Eric Thames? What has he done for that team?
I don't know, man. I'm looking at him winners of 4 straight games now. Milwaukee Brewers, hey, you never know, man. I mean, what were they, like 200-300 to 1 in the beginning?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Eric Thames come on the scene, hit 10 home runs in like
Sick.
2 weeks. And,
Absolutely
they're
sick.
right there.
Then another surprise is the Colorado Rockies, who are 1 game up over the Arizona D-backs and the Dodgers.
That's another team that they're almost like the Cubs in the fact that their pitching went from crap to very good all in one season.
I know. So and doing it in Coors Field, mind you, which is
Oh,
sick.
no doubt. I mean, look at those last 2 games. I mean, they gave up a 9-1 lead to San Francisco, come back and win 10-9, and then last night where they put up another 11 spot, I believe.
Yeah, crazy. And I mean, when you look at the wild card race, the Cubs are 8 games out. So I don't know.
That's a lot.
It's going to be tough to come back from that. So I don't know. I'm just looking at the rest of it here. I mean, it looks like the West may procure 3 teams in the playoffs.
I think, I mean, personally, as of right now and looking at NL, you got to look at the Dodgers as a favorite. And when I look at their lineup, Pat, I'm like, are they really scoring 5, 6, 7 runs a game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Dodgers are run line monsters. They always cover the run line. So
I mean, for God's sake, Chase Utley is, got like 20 RBIs this year. It's like, really?
no doubt. So, hey, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for the MLB standings, and it's time to get right into it, Scott. I think we got to find a couple of games today. Make some money. All right. So I'm going to pull it up. Obviously, guys, all we got is baseball right now. But, hey, it is what it is. I'm happy to be going to the Mets game today, so we'll see how that materializes. But something that's just sticking right out at me is the White Sox is this much of a dog to a sub-500 team. You got Toronto minus 230 today with an under-over of 9.
That's funny. That's the first game I pulled up, and some of the things I came up with, White Sox in the last 10 are 8-2 versus the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Stroman, last 4 starts against the Blue Jays, he's 0-2 with 2 no decisions. He gave up 15 runs on 20 hits and 19 innings in those 4 starts.
Wow.
The line opened at 210, got bet up to 240. Once the sharp seen 240, they bet it down to 225, and I'm looking at minus 230 right now. The only thing that's holding me back from really hitting the White Sox is Stroman. I mean, his last 7 starts, he's 5-0 with 2 no decisions. So he's pitched pretty well. But when you look at the last 3 games against the White Sox, he's given up 4 runs, and 5 runs. So, I mean, that might be a decent look. Even on the run line at plus 1.5, you're going to get plus money.
Oh, yeah. Plus 1.5, you are at plus 105. And if you're minus 1.5 with the White Sox, you're plus 330. Hey, why not, right?
Wow.
All right.
I mean, yesterday was the best game, I think, to take the dog. You had Quintana on the mound against that rookie pitcher, and he got steamed up to minus 200, and they just got the brakes beat off of him.
No doubt. All right, so looking at a couple of other games here, this one's kind of interesting because, you got the Twins with a better record here, battle for the Central, but Cleveland's minus 137. The problem is with the Twins is that they're really poor at home. I mean, they're only winning 40% of their games at home. What's your thoughts here?
Well, a couple things with that game. You got a doubleheader today. So
Okay.
You got an early game, you got a late game, right? And one of the system plays on the doubleheader is to bet the favorite in the first game. If they don't come through, you double down on the second game with the favorite. And that has produced, I want to say, a 17-3 record.
Wow.
So far this year. The first game, you got the reliever going for Cleveland against the rookie at Minnesota. Pretty good stats here. 15 of the last 20 in Minnesota went under the total. Last night it went under the total, 8-1. Total was 10. And Cleveland's 4-0 this year against the Twins. So I think I might lean Cleveland in that game one.
Okay, minus 137 might not be a bad look. Taking a look at a massive total, I see a 310. You got the Rockies. Total is 12.5 versus the Giants. Colorado minus 160.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. What have they put up? 20 runs a game last two games?
Yeah, those totals are definitely jumping up. I mean, 12.5 is a lot of runs.
It is, but if you blind bet overs this year in baseball hat, you're doing pretty well. Unfortunately for the books, I guess.
Oh yeah, big time. Because there's been the digression of the pitching has just been, especially in a ballpark like Coors Field. I mean, Matt Cain has a pretty high ERA, 5.22. So this is something here. I mean, take a look at the bullpens here. Maybe you can get a first 5 over. Usually they're knocking in a lot of the runs. I've noticed in some of the previous matchups, they're knocking them in kind of early. So
yeah, absolutely.
Might be something to take a look at. Let's see here. I got a spot that I kind of like. I'm kind of feeling, I think the Yankees are due to win here with Masahiro Tanaka at Oakland. Yankees minus 140, under over of 9. They got to win today, Scott.
Yeah, I'm with you on that thought process. I just have a hard time backing Tanaka with as bad as he's been.
I know.
But I do agree with you. That is the spot the Yankees have to win today.
6.07 ERA. Wow.
For what was supposed to be the ace of the staff.
They're going to have to make a trade. They're going to have to get somebody, So, what other games are you looking at today?
Who do they go get?
Oh, Quintana.
Yeah, but you're going to have to give up a farm for him.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. I don't really see many huge storylines as far as the trade deadline this year. Do you?
No. And the thing about it, if you look at the resurgence of the Yankees, it came from their farm system. So yeah. I'm sure they're going to be very reluctant to give up any more of their farm league people for a Quintana, who, in all intents and purposes, may just be a rental for a year, maybe a year and a half.
Right on. So, another spot I'm looking at
today. I'm looking at the Braves at home today with Garcia on the mound. I think that's a good spot, especially with Jeff Locke on the mound for the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking there. Garcia's been really good, giving up 3 lesser runs in every start. The problem with the ones he lost, the bullpen has blown it, and he ain't getting run support. So hopefully we'll get that run support today in that new SunTrust ballpark in Hat. Let me tell you, that park is tremendous.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh my God, it is like none other that I've seen.
Really?
Except when the Falcon Stadium opens up this year.
Oh God, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, they're definitely going to be putting some money into that. I'm looking at a spot here. I kind of like the way Zach Godley's pitching this year for the Arizona D-backs. I think they'll knock Eichhoff around, considering the fact that he's 0 for 7 on the year so far, bro.
Dude, I tell you, the Sharps have burnt more money back in Philadelphia in the last 2 weeks than anybody. I mean, they were a favorite, for God's sake, yesterday, and they drove that number up even more from the opening, thinking that they're actually going to win 2 in a row. I'm with you, man. I think Diamondbacks offense is better. I think Godley's been pretty good. I like that spot, man. That's a good
You like
call.
that? So we'll go Arizona. I mean, if you look at the smart chart, they're superior in everything here. Philadelphia doesn't score any runs. I mean, they score less than 4 runs a game.
No.
You want to give me the D-backs in a minus 115 versus a piss poor team like the Phillies? I think I'm going to take a shot versus a winless pitcher as well.
Absolutely. You got to take that. I tell you another team that I backed the last couple of days that are starting to get it rolling is the Kansas City Royals.
Okay. Talk to me.
Kansas City has won, I believe, 5 in a row now. They're 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Hosmer, Javi behind the plate, and Moustakas have really came in their own. They got the Angels again tonight. Got the rookie on the mound who's 2-0, pitched very well for him. It's a really depleted Angels team. I mean, Pujols hit a 600 the other night, but ever since then hasn't really done much. And they're relying on a shortstop, Simmons, that they got from the Braves to really power him. And then he's playing at all-star level. But I just think the Royals are on a roll, and I think they keep rolling today.
All right. Sounds good. So looking at a couple of other spots here, not a huge fan of this Mariners team, but the Rangers – the Rangers are, a 500 team here. I kind of feeling the Rangers a little bit. I think the total's a little high, even though Gallardo's been pitching pretty rough this year. 6.11 ERA. I understand why they're setting it so high, but the Mariners' offense does nothing for me.
No, I actually looked at that game too right after Toronto, and you got Gallardo, who hasn't won a game in like 6 starts, averaging giving up 4.5 runs per start. They're going against Perez, who, from a lefty situation, Seattle historically has been a bad team against lefties, and I think that's a good spot for Texas today.
Probably for the Rangers, and dude, I got to be honest with you. Seeing a total of 11 with 2 teams that neither one of them score over 5 runs a game, I might take a shot with the under in that game.
Yeah, I wonder. The thing about Texas is, obviously the hotter it is and the humidity out there, that ball travels in that ballpark. So I'd be interested in kind of weather and what lineups are actually going to hit the field before I would.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 79 degrees there now, so it's not crazy.
Right.
All right. So looking at it, here's a really good game tonight. Got the Boston Red Sox in Minute Maid Park facing the Houston Astros, and Houston's minus 112. David Paulino versus Rick Porcello.
Wow. Gas can Porcello.
Gas can Porcello. No, this Paulino kid's not doing it for me, though, so I don't know. My first instinct is to take a look at the Houston Astros, but I just don't think I have the testicular fortitude to bet that.
I'm thinking over in that game. What is that over, 9.5?
9.5, brother.
I'm thinking over in that game, man. Porcello's just been a shell of himself, man, and he's giving up early runs. Maybe first half over in that game. First
half over, okay. I think the first 5 in that particular game is, let me just pull it up, 5.5.
Man, that hook is the only thing.
Well, if you go over 5, it's minus 130.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
right.
So you push on 5. Yeah, that's a good look. I think first half over 5.
Yep.
If it's 5, you get a push.
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Then I'm looking at the Chicago Cubs facing the Pittsburgh Pirates today. You know what? This Pirates team, I believe this is a pesky team, man. They really are. I know they're 7 games back of the Cubs. Cubs are a 500 team, and they're 7 under. Cubs minus 120.
Nova matchup?
Arrieta versus Nova.
Wow, I tell you that offense the last 2 games have been on the uptick since they put Rizzo leading off. He almost hit his 3rd leadoff home run in as many games last night. Did you see that? They called it foul, and Madden got kicked out of the game.
Funny stuff.
Arguing the foul ball.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Nova's their best pitcher. He doesn't give up many runs. I just think the Cubs' offense is starting to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
With that game, you got to figure out what Arrieta you're going to get. Are you going to get the Arrieta that gives up 4 runs in 2 innings, or are you going to get the Arrieta that gives up 1 run in 5 innings? I lean Cubs in that game just because of the offense the last few few days, but I'm with you. Pirates at home are a lot better team.
What a difference, huh, in Arrieta?
Oh my God, shelling himself, and this is his contract year. So typically in contract years, those pitchers go all out, and he just isn't performing. Man, he's costing himself millions of dollars.
What do you think it is? Think the velocity's off? Maybe change something with his throwing? I mean, what do you think?
Well, the velocity is definitely down from last year, but I think his pitch location isn't as good. I mean, last year he was hitting corners, getting the outside corner, call strike, for third strike outs, and he's just not hitting those spots this year, man. They're just teeing off on him.
Right on. So that basically goes through the MLB. I just wanted to kind of bring something up because I've been dying to talk to you about this. And you know what? We've been flirting with it for quite some time now, and this is the run line in baseball. Okay, do you play the run lines a lot?
I don't, but I've heard you and Dream go back and forth about the underdog on the -1.5. Yep. And that's not a bad strategy, and here's why. Typically, if the underdog wins, they win by more than one run.
Right, and the thing is, I'll give you an example. Like not to say this is going to win, but you take the Chicago White Sox plus 220 today, right? If you took the run line, they're plus 330. That's 110%. Or no, I'm sorry, that's 50% greater on your payout. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And
Correct.
You do that like 10 times. I mean, and only 75% of the games are one-run games. I'm sorry, are 2-run or more games. So 25% of the games are decided by one run. So it puts you in the plus. If you think about it, if you just run that scenario several times, it's just that not a lot of people bet the dogs minus the 1.5. That's the thing.
And I think you're on something, but I think you got to pick your spots, and you got to look at a couple things. One, you got to look at obviously who's on the mound, and that's why I said last night with Quintana on the mound was perfect, because you're talking about in a pitcher that everybody typically is looking to trade for at the trade deadline.
Yep.
And he's getting almost a plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last night you probably could have got close to plus 350 at a -1.5 on the White Sox.
Right.
So those are the situations you got to look at, and you got to look at teams that are kind of streaking. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3 in a row. Certain attributes you got to look at when you do that, though. But yeah, I'm with you, man. That's good spots if you really do your research, like it sounds like you've been doing over the last couple of weeks.
Well, here's where I don't like it. I'm going to give you an example. So the Giants and Rockies game, right? You have the Giants. I'm sorry, the Giants are plus 164. Mm-hmm. If you were to lay the run line with the Giants, it's only plus 210. So that's only a 46-cent difference. Right. You know what I mean? Where the other game is, $1.10 difference between the two. So that's what we take a look at. We look at big discrepancies like that, guys. So let's see here. Frank Vinculato, good morning to you. What's going on? A lot of people are like the -1 too. You know what? I'm okay with it. I understand it. And the 1.5 has bitten me quite, a little bit. But
see, I err on the side. If I have to take a team -1, I might as well take the underdog.
Right.
Because if you're taking -1, you're typically taking -200 situations.
Yeah. And
I'm not a big fan of laying 2-1.
I agree. And you know what? I'm going to tell you too, shop your lines, because you know what? You're getting like plus 180 somewhere, and somewhere else is like plus 155. It's crazy. And it's like so much more money. And so it's just to be on, I'm on, God, 9 or 10 different books. Right. Where I shop it. It's time consuming, but you know what? Hey, it is what it is. It works. I mean,
a 10-cent line is on 100 is $10 per play. I mean, you're playing 400 or 500 plays a year in baseball. That adds up, man.
Oh, sure does, man. So what else you got for us, man? What are your favorite plays on the day that we talked about?
I think right now I'm looking at Braves. I'm looking at Royals. Are the two that kind of sticks out to me right now, and that Cleveland game 1 or the 3 that I'm really looking at this point. Other than that, man, I'm gonna continue to do some research, man. See what I can come up with.
All right, sounds good. So, guys, this is Scott Weaver, Weave808 on Twitter. you can follow him and pick his brain about anything, man. Scott, we're getting ready for football, bro.
Oh, I know, man. The Clemson University tell Dream they won the title last year.
Yes, not Auburn. All right, guys, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to get some D-backs today. Not going to do the run line because it's only plus 130 versus the minus 120 on the money line. So I'm going to go with the Arizona D-backs today, and I'm going to bet the Metropolitans just because I'm going to the game. It's a plus 265 on their run line, so I'm going to definitely do that considering the fact that they're only plus 148 on the money line. So that's another $1.17 on top of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's where I'm going to go, and I may consider taking the White Sox with Big Pelf.
Big Pelf, that's Dream's favorite player, right?
Yep, exactly. So, all right, man. Well, listen, I got to cut out of here because I am going to the Mets and Nats game today. So,
man, have a good time, man. I know Dream was dying to go, but
oh yeah, if I wait for his tickets, forget it. I'll be old and gray, man. So,
there you go, man. Well, have a good time at that game, man.
All right, sounds good, man. And thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it, Weave. So, you got any shout outs to anybody or anything?
Man, just thanks for having me on, man. Good to kick with y'all, and I can't wait for football, man. It's right around the corner, and we'll definitely have a good time with that.
Oh, absolutely, guys. All right, so listen, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so we'll be back celebrating a little bit here, myself and the Dream. And guys, hey, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this weather because you know what? If you're on the East Coast, it's not going to last too much longer, so enjoy it now. And do your thing. And do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do in life. And get that money. Let's go.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day, Hat.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Later, man.